Today we are here Wednesday, July 15. The year is flying by. Today's program, you guys asked for a program in Spanish. And so we're trying to do that at least once a week. So we are here with you. I want to remind you, you don't want to lose or miss out what's coming up in these next few days and the next week. This week, we're talking about special education. And we're in association with ALAS, ALAS. They were with us yesterday talking about their organization and the programs that they have. We are super grateful that we're able to collaborate with them, just like always. And also grateful for the opportunity to be able to do more moving forward. So tomorrow, don't miss Jennifer Mentz Howell, the director of special services. I'm sorry, special needs education, along with Mr. Galvan. They're going to explain to us a little more about the services that MPS has available. On Friday, we're still trying to confirm a representative from the Department of Instruction of Education. So for those of you that have had problems with the app for unemployment, the coming week, we're going to focus on the economy for individuals and also for businesses. Next week, collaborating with the Latino Chamber of Commerce, and another organization called LED. We're going to have Nelson Soler with us. He's a great friend, a great colleague in the fight for getting what's best for the community. So we're going to talk about unemployment, where you can find work, how to build up your business. If you guys want to, there were quite a few people that were, what opportunities are there? And then we're also going to talk about different organizations like LCC and then other organizations that are around to help you out. So also, I need to share a disclaimer. The opinions and points of view that are shared today are not necessarily those of SOC. I have it all memorized in English, so it's difficult for me. So I'm going to save all of the other announcements to later on because we have to take advantage of the time that we have with Dr. Baez. He has another appointment later on this afternoon. So we have Dr. Baez with us again. Very grateful to have him with us. He was with us last week to share information in English. And you guys asked him to come back, and that's why he's here. Today he's going to talk about the movement of special education and bilingual education. So welcome, Dr. Baez. Thank you. Thank you guys for inviting me again. We always want you to be with us, but we can't always have you. I know you're making a sacrifice for us, though. So we're going to take advantage of the time that you're here. Share with us the history, the movement about bilingual education. And then if there's some time, we're going to talk about special education and that movement also. Of course. Honestly, I can't forget about last week. I loved it. Everything that I said in English, I can't necessarily interpret into Spanish. I don't even remember everything. But Milwaukee is very particular. We started a program around the 60s. Thank goodness to some of the mothers and the teachers. Tammy's mom, a lot of the other great teachers, and they focused on the idea that if the program, the bilingual program started at Guadalupe Center, the Head Start program, once the kids started, what was going to happen to them? So Olga from Milwaukee Public Schools, she was had a lot to do with the first bilingual act that passed in the 60s. So we competed with Texas, California, New York, and we won. We won a proposal, a financial proposal. So we got federal money for the bilingual program for the schools like Kosciuszko, South Division, Allenfield, but it was a small program. Then around 72, there wasn't going to be enough federal money for the program in 73 because it was for 5 years. The federal grants are for 5 years. So Olga got next to some of us. We got together, and there were quite a few people that were helping us too. And then we needed the Milwaukee Public Schools to absorb the cost. I was very active in other things, fighting for policies, the fight for Latin American Union for Civil Rights, along with other organizations. And I wanted to participate in these other things because of the discipline. The public schools were excluding the Hispanics because they didn't know what to do with them. We didn't have enough bilingual students. There only were a few. And that's where the fight started. We didn't know much about it, but we knew, thank goodness to the participation of a Puerto Rican woman who came from the coast. They were fighting in those areas to maintain their programs, in California. So they were fighting to keep their program going. So now we were fighting, okay, they knew their Spanish, but we teach them English, and then they just forget their Spanish. So now we see that experience, and we had all those huge schools in New York and Puerto Rico and all the other schools, and we just said, we need to keep the Spanish going. And there have been arguments that in Milwaukee, we should have a bilingual program to maintain the language, a program to maintain the Spanish while they learn English. And when they're proficient in English, they keep learning both languages. So thank goodness to these women, these moms that were fighting. Now we have the problem that the history is written from the man's point of view, but this was a lot of women. So yeah, they selected me to speak for them, but this was a woman's world. I was the only guy because I was a single father too. And they thought maybe because I had a few years of experience, I would be a good person to speak because I also spoke English too. So we made a series of presentations to the public. And we said that it needed to be a program to maintain. In 73, they did an investigation with the parents and the students in the public schools. And then in 74, we presented our plan for the public schools. Reality, our plan, we said to the public schools, what's happening in the rest of the country is that there's lots of court cases. Do you guys want to do that too? No, let's take care of this before we get to court. And then they said, okay, fine. And they said, what do you want? So in negotiations, almost a year of negotiations, in May of the next year, there were about 13 different points that they made out and decided it was a maintenance program to learn English and keep their Spanish too. So then we started with immersion schools, German, French, Italian, and now we have the Chinese, right? But in that moment, what we wanted was to respect the opinion of the community. The Supreme Court of the US, they passed a law after the Lao case, because that's what's used to measure the proficiency of English. That's where that comes from. And so they were thinking about a transitional program. We said no. We threw it out. We said that's not what we want. We said we can do more. Other states, they had to accept it from the Supreme Court, but not Milwaukee. And that put us on the map, because the people from New York, from the Southwest, they called us and they said, how is it that such a small group in Milwaukee is doing this maintenance program? We did it. We ran all over the country with it. We met other people. We went to different cities, met Olga, al señor Fernández, otra señora que se llama, I'm sorry, another woman whose last name is Lopez. And we just went all over the country selling and informing about this program. Because the reality, all the people that are connected to the bilingual education are bilingual. They speak both languages. In other places, they had their program in Spanish, they had their program in English. That has made us distinguished, different. And we're still doing it. There are other parts of the country that use the model of Milwaukee to start their program. And we talk about all the civil rights that people have. Now, we said we need to go further. We need to do more than just comply with the civil rights. And that's why today in Milwaukee, even though we are a smaller area, we have various schools with bilingual programs, and it's exceeded expectations. The instruction, the Wisconsin Department of Instruction has come to the South Side to see the kids coming in. They don't know any English, and then they learn, and they're still learning their Spanish and English at the same time. They have 30 to 40% higher test scores than those that just speak English. But something has happened with those schools. I sent a list to Tammy. I know that every school is a different. I know that every school is different. There are some that teach more English, more Spanish, other that are more bilinguals. Everybody's a little bit different. And I know in our last program, we talked about different bilingual programs. we have our immersion programs. We have our white kids, black kids, everybody together with Hispanic kids to have a immersion experience. But the programs that are on the south side are primarily Spanish, English for those bilingual kids. In 2014, we passed a law. I wrote with a community emphasis, and with a community emphasis, we came to the solution and talked about bilingualism on the south side of Milwaukee. So we wanted to make sure that that experience got to the rest of the city. So the public schools approved that 9-0, unanimous, first time in the whole country. The text. So every district is trying to do their own thing in all the different cities, but in Milwaukee, we have the resolution. There was a little bit of resistance from the public, but there always is. And they found out that all of the Southside schools that have a growing Hispanic population offer the bilingual program. There are a few that don't, but we're still working on it. Last program, we were talking about some schools, about why. Okay, some parents are saying if there's they want to put their kid in this school, but there's no bilingual program, the parents have to sign a paper saying they understand that there's no bilingual program. So those parents felt like they had no other choice. This is changing. This is changing because there's people pushing, and the community is pushing so that bilingualism is prevalent in the whole city. And that's where we are now. I went to Head Start Center on Guadalupe. My mom was a teacher's assistant, and I went to View School from kindergarten up to 8th grade. And it's because of that that I have the ability of the mix of Spanish and English. But if it wasn't for the education that I received at those programs, I don't think I would be able to speak what I can speak, to do what I can do. I'm very grateful for that. My brothers as well. So, Dr. Baez, what is the urgency now that we want to take the program to another level? What do we have to do? I think that we have to look at education like something that's developing always. From 300 years ago, it's always developing. So we always have to have it reflects on society. Society is also developing. And we've lost that thought that in America you only speak English. The whole face of this country is changing. We're over 60 million people are Hispanic, and the African Americans and white people are saying they should speak more than one language. So the kids that are also benefiting from this problem are the African American kids that are going to be bilingual. The global economy needs this. And they're going to say, wow, if we could just have more people to do this, I just want you to check it out. And you'll see that more languages they speak, more opportunities they will have, and more intelligent they will be. Also, when you, from a scientific point of view, when you develop that ability, that language in your brain, it's your brain is working, and academically, you're more ambitious. You feel secure in yourself that you're gonna do what you need to do. So yes, we know that the program in Milwaukee is amazing. We're ahead academically. Now, third, while we can be better and more bilingual kids, more academically ahead kids, we have seen even the workers in the factories, in the stores, but if they're bilingual, they're making more than the person that isn't. Now imagine professional people. Look at an international situation. We can send people out into the world if you speak more than one language. It's an advantage that you have. To be able to keep that up, we have to fight. We have to keep fighting. The parents have to form groups and speak up, because the idea of bilingualism is good for the whole world. And if somebody tells me not, they're stupid, because that doesn't make any sense. We're going to think then that the next generation isn't going to benefit from it. There's only certain situations with certain residents. There are countries all over the world where the bilingualism, where all of the kids are bilingual, and the quality of the education that they're receiving is much higher. There's countries in Latin America that are in the second, third, fourth best schools in the world, and we are the 19th. United States is 19th. So if there is something that we can do to help, we're going to have to convince some people, though. So the convincing isn't that difficult. We need to look, what we're going to have to do, we're being affected just like everybody else. Not enough prepared teachers, maybe not enough people to staff the schools, but those are things that happen in all systems. We have to improve that. Sometimes parents say, my kid's at a private school where they're going to learn more than in a public school. Well, bilinguals, I'm sorry, private schools don't have bilingual education. So if using bilingual programs shows abilities that are against racism, that show you a different point of view of the world, it will help better the world. That's why I tell parents, I tell the community how necessary it is. And we need the help of everybody to make sure that we keep getting better. Preparing the teachers, preparing the teachers' assistants. And we have so many ideas in the public schools, and I've seen a lot of them. We need to be able to convince people that public schools are the best option for kids. All of the resolutions that I've presented have all been approved unanimously. Well, now we got to keep moving on, because in the last elections of spring, the resolution was passed so that we can put more money into the public schools. So we got to keep moving forward. All right, we got like 5 minutes because I know you have another appointment. Can you talk a little bit about special education? Of course. Before bilingual education, I was an advocate for special education. In like the 60s, the parents of kids that had special needs, they didn't have money to pay a lawyer. So they would call me to help them. And I would go and I would represent them in their cases. And I got to know these people that had these special needs, and the schools weren't meeting their needs. So after the 60s, that's been getting better. And today we have groups like ALAS and other groups that defend the interests of bilingual Latino kids with special needs. There's, blacks and whites, and everybody agrees that public schools need to do more, but it's expensive and it is not easy. In the state of Wisconsin, MPS is only reimbursed 26% for a student of special needs. That is horrible, because private schools, they just passed a law saying if they offer special ed, they will get 90% reimbursed. This is possible because of the people that they have fighting for them at the private schools. And that's how they do it. I'm not going to fight with all that right now. But they're not promoting the interest of the kids, of the young people. It's more of a path towards democracy. We have to show them, the Democrats, to improve society so that they can be anti-racist, so they can have the integrity to create a multicultural society. And education, special education has to be part of that. These kids in special education programs, we can't assume that they can't learn. Of course they can learn. Of course they can develop. In some of the cases that I worked in, we showed the district that that we do have to give the services to these kids. I always support these parents to continue pressuring the school district, but keep in mind that the school district can only do so much because they only receive 26%. So they'd have to take money from something like music or art to put more money into special education. So we keep fighting with the state. There is a proposal for next year, maybe more reimbursement to up to 60%. 60%, not 90, 60. This fight is continuing. I was at a committee at a state level fighting for all of this, fighting with lawyers and arguing in the courts, and it's going to take some time. It's not from one day to the next. But what we can do at a local level for these little guys that need our help, we need to make sure that the state is doing all that they can to reimburse the public schools. Wow, I am so thankful for you to be here, for your information. And folks, if you want more information about bilingual schools, we have it on Facebook, and all of the list of all the schools that Dr. Baez share. We also are going to share the link that we shared last week if you guys are interested in a career in the schools, especially teachers, bilingual or special education. Thank you so much, Dr. Baez. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and God willing, we'll see each other soon. And the list that you have is an improved list. I appreciate it. Bye. Bye. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you, folks. I know that we didn't have that much time with him because he had another previous commitment, but let's say hello to Diana, Rene, hola, hello, hello. Hello to Dulce. Hello, Taylor. Hello to Maria. All from the School of View. Oh, Hamilton also has bilingual opportunities. Yeah, we're a little behind as a country. Um, Learning different languages is something very common, but for us, because we've had so many problems in this country with racism, people people are used to they're used to just throwing that idea out. All right, the census. We're going to talk about the census. We're going to share a video in a minute. But when you guys complete the census, this has an impact on the federal dollars that are assigned to the schools here in Milwaukee. For every person that doesn't do it, we lose thousands of dollars. That can be for public schools. Another thing that I want to remind you of, if you need help, it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. We can do it in English, in Spanish. You can do it online. You can do it on the phone. You can do it by mail. You can avoid having somebody knocking on your door because that's scary. And you can always call us too if you need help filling it out. So I'm going to leave you with the video and we'll be back in a minute. Yeah, it's me again. We're all of the Latinos that fill out the census. You think I'm just here texting? I'm sending a message to my future. Sending memes? No, do not let anybody feel invisible. It's time to fill out the census. You can do it from your phone, your computer, or by mail. Nobody can share your personal information. Finish the census today. You saw it again, people. Please help us out. So before we start the next segment, I want to make an announcement. Yesterday, I shared that we're going to have at least once a week the program in Spanish with interpretation in English like we're doing today. And so we're so grateful for everybody in ALAS and our young folks that pushed us to do this program in Spanish. But if you guys have a preference to which day, this is the moment to say it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what's best for you? Otherwise, we'll just keep going with Wednesday. If you guys want a different segment in the forum that we still haven't done, let us know. We have the survey. You can put it in the comments. If you appreciate what we're doing, if you appreciate the information that we're sharing, let us know. Complete the survey. We need this information to know that we're meeting the requirements of our funders and that we're meeting your needs. So it's only 2 or 3 questions, won't take more than 5 minutes. And then you can let us know, what day do you prefer? If there's another theme that you want to talk about, or a program or a service. Somebody says, fill out the census. It's easy. I just saw that in the comments. It is very easy. So also important is the census are the elections that are coming up quick. The primary in August and then the regular election in November. So Gabby has prepared information about how you can get your how you can vote by mail. So here comes Gabby. Hello, good afternoon. So happy to be with you guys in Spanish today. Today, I want to show you the process of how to register to vote and how to ask for your ticket by the mail. So you just have to go to the website. I'm going to show you guys now. I'm going to show my screen so we can start the process. So we're here in Google, and then I'm going to go into the website myvote.wi.gov. So here's the website. And as you can see, everything's in English. But you can go all the way down to the bottom. And then you can change the language to Spanish. And we can see everything in Spanish. And here you can see what election have you voted in previously. You can look for your voting spot if you're not sure where you have to go. You can also see a sample of the ticket so you know what it looks like. We can verify your name or your address to register to vote and vote by mail. So we'll start with the registration. So as you can see, your name, your date of birth, your address. And personally, I know I'm registered, so I'm not going to put my information. But when you guys put your information, then you'll see a series of questions. Questions about a picture, like to be able to prove your address. So it can be your ID, state identification from the DMV, college ID, can be a bill that you get at your house, a letter from the government. So then the website will explain the whole process. They'll tell you what letters qualify and that you can use as proof. And I'm sure you guys will find all the help that you need. So now we're going to go over to the area vote by mail. So here is where you ask for your ticket in the mail. So voting by mail. And as you can see, they ask the same information to verify your registration. And then after that, you click on the green button and you'll see an option here that says ask for a ballot by mail. And then you'll see your name. Obviously, I don't want to put all my personal information, so I'll just leave it like this. But here you can see you just ask for your mail-in ballot. And then there's another series of questions just to confirm where you want the ticket or the ballot to go and what election it's for. So now I'm going to show you a video to maybe answer some more of your questions. Just to clarify, they're showing a video of somebody navigating the website on their phone, and they've chosen the Spanish election. So it's just showing them putting in all of their personal information, what you click on, and it's just all in Spanish. So it's got looking by name, asking for your absentee ballot, confirming your information, confirming your voter registration information. Deciding if you want this to be your selection for all elections moving forward, if you want to continue to do an absentee ballot for the other elections as well, and then uploading your form of ID. And there's a list of the acceptable forms of ID, and then you just need to upload it from your computer or your phone. So there we go. Thank you for using my vote. So remember that they're going to ask for a photo of your picture, or excuse me, a photo of your ID, especially if it's your first time asking for an absentee ballot. So it is easier, do it on your cell phone. So you have all your pictures on your cell phone, just go to the website, and it's just easier to use your phone to take a picture of your ID or your passport, your DMV ID, and then you just upload it from there. If you do it on computer and you don't have a picture of your ID saved on the computer, it's a whole process. Take your picture with your cell phone, then send it to your email, and then download it, and it's a whole process. But you can do it either way. And of course, we're here to help the process. If you have any questions, you can always call us. We always share all of our information, 672-8090, and we're here to support however we can. Don't think twice about contacting us because we're here for you guys. Oh, also wanted to mention something else. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have already guessed, but I wanted to talk about the census. You guys know that it's very important for our community because it determines how much federal funds we receive for the public schools, other public services like health, roads, and the population of the community determines the amount of money that we receive. So we need to count to be able to receive as much money as we deserve to have for our population. So that's why you got to complete the census. The census counts you like a member of the community. It doesn't matter your immigration status. There is no questions about your immigration status. They do not ask your social security number. They don't ask any questions like that. So you guys can feel peaceful and safe filling this out. And all of the information that you guys put on the census is it doesn't matter if you do it on internet, mail, telephone. They cannot share that information with any other agency, any other government agency. So you can feel good about that. It's the law. All of your information is protected. And the good thing is that you can complete the census from your home. So please complete the census. Share it with your friends, with your neighbors, talk to everybody about how we need to make sure that we're counted to receive the federal dollars that we need to have the appropriate political representation too. So I will leave you with a little census video that explains especially how it's important for our kids, for the kids, because they're the ones that are going to benefit or suffer because of the numbers that come from the census. Because this determines the funds for the next 10 years for the schools. So fill out the census, watch the video, and we're here, anything that you guys might need. Talk to you later. Mom, Dad, Grandma, Uncle, I'm depending on you guys to protect my future, and that's why you need to fill out the census of 2020. Last census, more than 1 million kids weren't counted. 400,000 were Latino kids, less than 5 years old. If you don't count me in the census, maybe there won't be enough for school, hospital, daycare, and other programs that I need to be growing big and strong. That's why, from the babies all the way up to teenagers, we all need to be counted. Fill out the census, quick and easy, internet, phone, or regular mail after March 12th. Also, the website My Vote Safe. So when you fill out the census, make sure you count your kids too. For more information, go to 1-877 El Censo or visit hazmecontar.org. Thank you, Gabby. I see that there's a question. Maria asks if you are going to be able to vote in person. Yes, of course. And we just have to make sure that we're following all of the policies and everything that we need to stay safe from coronavirus. So there was another question about voting. Supposedly, when you ask for your ballot, they send it to you right away. And then you also need to take your ballot or send it in before August 9th. Keep that date in mind. You have to return the papers before August 9th. You can vote early, of course, the 27th of July. And you know there's going to be a lot of people, so go early. So make sure that you have enough time all the way up to August 10th is when you can vote early, in person, early voting. So now a question. I filled it out, but should I fill it out again? You know what, Maria? You should call Gabby, and that's what you should. Yeah, call Gabby, and you can show her. So you should call Gabby just so that we can be sure. I want to talk about something else. The other days, we need to talk about the mayor who passed a law saying it is required to use a mask when you're out in any building, anytime you're in contact with the public. Only people, or kids, the babies, less than 3 years old, or people that have a medical reason, they don't need to do it. It is required. You need a mask or something to cover your nose and your mouth. If you're outside and you're within 6 feet of someone else, and if it's not somebody that you live with, you also need a mask. Doesn't matter if you're at the park, if you're at the store. We all agree with this information. If you want more information, we have it on our Facebook page where you can see more details, more information. Because more than anything, our community, our Latin community, is the number one population that is seeing the highest number of positive results for COVID. So we have to be careful. We're all the way up there. Whew. There is danger, not just for our lives, but pass the virus to somebody else. And we don't want them to lose their life. We also shared before here in the forum, there are impacts, long-term effects to your health, to your lungs, to your heart. So don't take precautions, all the precautions you need. And if you need more information, go to MilwaukeeSOC.org. And you can call us, you can go to our website, and we'll send you all of the information that we have. So just remember. Now, an announcement. This forum, if you guys have liked the forum, if it's been useful, what can be better? Let us know. Filling out a quick questionnaire in the area of the comments, we have the link that you can follow. Just a few minutes. Thank you for your feedback. I can see Maria. She has another census question. Yeah, sometimes you think about questions afterwards. So if you want to confirm, just give us a call. We're here, 672-8090. Also, I want to remember tomorrow we're going to have Jennifer, the Director of Special Services for MPS, along with Mr. Galvan. He will be with us. We're waiting for them to answer us, just to confirm. But like I said earlier, no, now that we've had more than 3 months in this pandemic, we hadn't thought that this was going to last for so long, but it has. And we need to think a little more. How can we keep doing the forum to make sure that it's serving you? So if you have any ideas, like Marisol said, please share them with us. We can do it in the questionnaire. There's a link in the comment section. Just a few questions. Doesn't take more than a few minutes. Elsa is saying they confirmed, DPI confirmed that they will be on Friday. Oh, thank you so much. Now you know that they're going to be with us. So let me know which day you prefer. Otherwise, we'll keep Wednesdays in Spanish. And then we're also thinking about a day in, we can have the young people, 12 young people that work with us, organizers. And maybe you guys have received a call from them on the phone, but have a day for them. So if you have an idea, let us know. Now's the time to let us know. We want to give thanks to everybody that has allowed us to have this program. Also, thanks to everybody who is out fighting and the protests for all of the issues that are going on today. We're thinking about all of those that are suffering or have been impacted by coronavirus. We're going to keep praying for you guys, thinking in you guys, and of course, taking action for our community. We don't want to forget about that. So now I'm going to leave you guys with some thanks. Thank you for being with us. Please take care. So thank you again for being with us, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock with SOC. Hello, followers of SOC. I am Gabby, Civic Engagement Manager, and I just want to thank you all for being with us with another forum. And thank you for completing our questionnaire. It's always in the comment. The link is always in the area of the comments. So I also wanted to give thanks to our sponsors. Our sponsors are Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grants, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zilber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, Employ Milwaukee, and all of the faithful individuals that have given their personal donations. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in another forum.